If you would ask me, what is the situation today in theoretical physics, is that most of the physicists are groping in the darkness and searching for the black key that is not there. This is the case of theoretical physics. Why? Because the landscape of theoretical physics is a landscape of a mental dream. With what happened in the beginning of 20th century, that ether, superfluid space, was thrown out of physics, physics has lost the ground. And now the main view in physics is that particles and fields exist in an empty space that is deprived of physical properties, and that with these particles and fields we will manage to describe everything. This is groping in the darkness and searching for the black key that is not there. There is no progress possible in physics with understanding that space cannot be empty, that space is a type of energy. We have been fighting, I guess now it's 15 years ago, we have been fighting for 2 years in one journal of theoretical physics because we wrote a theoretical article that the idea of particles and fields in an empty space is a wrong idea. That with this idea physics cannot develop. And at the end they refuse our paper. Why they refuse paper? They refuse paper because someone just mentioned, I guess someone from Russia, just mentioned that let's say 100 years ago several mistakes were made, and now this inertia of this mistake is growing, and now it's difficult to stop this nonsense because so much money was invested, so many people did a PhD degree, so many people published articles in the high-ranked journals about the Big Bang, about inflation, about singularities, initial singularities, singularities in the black hole. All this is just a mental crap. This has nothing to do with physics. This has nothing to do with physics. Of empty space, of curved space, not even space. Space-time is curved, and this generates gravity. This is a headache. This is a headache. So what is the point, or let's say what is the purpose of the physics of the Buddha? What I want to explain here on the YouTube, I want to explain that if you are totally, as a physicist, as a theoretical physicist, if you are totally identified with your mind, with the theories and models that your mind is building, you are totally blind. Because you believe in these mental structures. you don't understand that these mental structures are only a product of your mind. And if you are identified with these structures, you don't have possibility to verify if this structure, if these models, they have any real connection with the world. That's why I developed bijective research methodology. Every mathematical element in theoretical physics must have a given element in the physical reality. Otherwise, everything is just a nonsense. So who is the Buddha? The Buddha is the one that is perfect aware the way his mind works. And there is the same Buddha in every theoretical physicist. And once we will wake up the Buddha, then they will say, wow, that's great. Because the Buddha, the consciousness, the being, or self, or no self, you name it as you want, is of the higher cognitive reality, cognitive status than the mind. And the Buddha, he immediately see if something makes sense or not. Let's say the Buddha see idea of space-time. He's just laughing. That's nonsense. Let's say the Buddha see the idea that the mass can be negative. The Buddha will just laugh because this is nonsense. Let's say that you present the Buddha that there was nothing, and then from the mathematical point the entire universe explained. Buddha will just laugh, and he will say that's absolute nonsense. This is the purpose of the physics of the Buddha that I will have next year, a course. Next year, summer 25, will be first course. Summer course. I guess in Slovenia. So everybody who is who see that all this going on with this old paradigm, it makes no sense, 2 years ago, I wrote at University of Ljubljana, Physics and Astronomy department. I wrote a letter. I said, stop teaching Big Bang Theory. It's a shame. It's a shame that today we teach Big Bang Theory. That we fill the minds of the students with this mental crap. Yeah, University of Ljubljana. I also sent a letter to the University of Maribor. They also had a physics there, faculty. I said, don't stop teaching this nonsense. They don't answer. Because the mainstream science, the institutions, scientific institutions, they are like Catholic Church. This is religion. You can have all the proofs that something is wrong and it doesn't make sense. They don't care. Because it's a huge ego behind all this. We developed the Big Bang, a supersymmetry, Higgs field, cyclotron physics. 99% of particles discovered in cyclotrons, they have been discovered only there. If I'm more precise, they have been made there. They are man-made. All these particles does not exist in the universe. Higgs field, Higgs boson. Higgs boson appear only in the cyclotron. You don't have any Higgs boson. You don't have any Higgs field in the universe. That's all crap. That's all mental crap. So, check my homepage. Read my articles. Send my homepage to your friends. Write the comments. And let's go on. Let's go for the breakthrough. Where the physics will be created by the Buddhas, which use mind only as a tool. This is my vision. Thank you.